Yeah, I'd like to see Mitch try to do that. I'd probably pay to see that.
We could have that be an
Um,
episode of the podcast.
See how many
yeah.
pencils. Good
All
lord.
right.
Content
Oh
king,
man.
baby.
All right.
Um,
It says we are live now. It'll take a second. Oh,
Oh,
Jesus.
sorry, wrong week.
I mean, at least we'd have something like deep and, something to talk about here.
Yeah, a plot.
Yeah, an actual plot to talk about.
So, in a twist of events, on this week, for this episode podcast, we are starting a new show. If you have seen the previous outro, you already know what we're talking about, and obviously because of the background, we're talking about Cromartie High School. It was my choice, and the way we decide who picks the next anime is just kind of random. So my name got pulled out of the hat pretty much, so I decided to choose Cromartie High School because I wanted to see these guys' reaction to this amazing show that makes 100% sense, and there's no obscure facts or random ass gorillas.
Bro, let me just explain my experience watching this. I had to check my water because I thought somebody drugged me. I thought I was high on acid, and I was like,
No, you can't be like the
Did
delinquents. They warn you at the start.
did that really just happen? Like, it was just non-stop, just, what? Literally nothing made sense. It was the complete, most utter random bullshit I've ever seen in my life. Like, I had thought it was gonna be like a Family Guy type random. This one was just like literally nothing made sense. At least Family Guy tries to have plots per episode. This one just like, nah, fuck it, we don't need plots. Plot? What's a plot? Fucking. It
So
was.
today we are going to be talking about episodes 1 through 8. That seems like a lot, but really, Cromartie episodes are only 11 minutes long or so, with like an intro that's like a minute or two. So the episodes are very short. So technically, we're covering like 4 episodes length of content tonight. We don't know how long this one's going to be tonight because Cromartie is very obscure, and we can shoot this stuff out really quickly. Don't take that out of context. But the thing I want to start with is everyone's like initial reaction. Like, what were their expectations with this one? Mitch already started it off, so does anyone else want to hop in?
Yeah, I guess when you said it was gonna be like a comedy anime or whatever, obviously I expected it to be not as serious as things like Fullmetal Alchemist, Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, etc. But I kind of agree with Mitch. The level of randomness was at times actually funny, and I tried to just kind of go with it or whatever. But then it makes it very difficult to actually remember what the heck happened in every episode because maybe one big thing that actually happened, but then that was like the center of the whole episode, and there was no plot. So then when it comes to here and we're discussing the episodes, it's like this thing happened in this episode. That was pretty much the whole episode. And also because it's 10 minutes long, it's like this happened. Moving
Okay.
on.
Do you remember when we were talking about episode 10 of Demon Slayer, and we were like, this, and it was like a 24-minute episode that felt like it went 5 minutes? This show, every episode felt like it was an hour long. I was just like, where is this gonna fucking end?
It definitely felt longer for me because I wanted us to cover some stuff, so I took notes on each of the episodes, which was a little brutal.
Especially episode 3, I was like, oh my god, just
Forget
stop.
Love that episode so much. It was so good.
Oh my god,
The only
dude.
one sitting on that episode.
Holy shit. I was like, because like, okay, I was like, okay, this is whatever. And then they did their
Bye,
whole
Josh.
bit where they figure out the song, and then they're on stage. And I'm like, okay, they're gonna sing it a couple times, maybe a couple more. Are they ever gonna like maybe a couple more? Are they ever gonna fucking get off the goddamn stage, dude? It was like 5 minutes, and then just.
So
I was like, this is so fucking stupid.
all right, but yeah, to cover up initial reactions, Yusuf, PowerPoint, you wanna give your thoughts.
Yeah, I'll try not to move around too much. That way, you guys have a clear sight on what my reaction is.
You're doing really good right now, standing still, man. Like, I'm surprised you're not blinking.
Yeah, I'm gonna try not to blink and just stare at the camera the whole time. Yeah, so just like what Mitch was saying, Mitch felt like he was on an acid trip the whole time. I watched half the episodes while I was like in bed, like getting ready for bed and like really sleepy. So I felt like I was also like on drugs watching this crap because nothing made sense. I was really confused and I had to check to make sure I actually didn't fall asleep and I was dreaming some bullshit. But nope, it was just the episode and whatever plot line, whatever it had. So
Yep.
I think it is funny. I think it has some dry parts and some things that they beat way too much. Like,
Already, and we're only not 8 episodes in.
yeah, I know.
Here's
But,
my
I don't know. I thought the first episode was really funny though. At least starting out.
first episode was good. Here's what I'm already sick of, and I know it's gonna keep happening. It's when, especially the dude with the afro, he does this all the time. When he's like thinking about something he wants to do, he'll be like, "Huh, I need to do this, and then I need to do this," all in his head. It's just like super like intense thinking, and then he'll be like, "Never mind, I
Yeah.
could do something else."
Yeah, Yamaguchi.
Or the big fat guy with the bald headed guy, he's like, I am the leader of class 1A or whatever. I cannot let them know I am nauseous when I'm in the car.
Takanuchi. Yeah.
I was like, this. Why do we need to know all this? Who cares?
Yeah.
That's the
From
bit.
yeah,
It's not
the
a
only
good bit.
so full disclosure, I've watched like the live action movie of this, and it seems a lot of stuff is covered from the anime into the movie, but that doesn't mean I know what's coming, what's happening, or anything like that. So I'm kind of re-experiencing all this stuff with you guys. So I'm just as lost as you guys, but from what I'm noticing, there's just a pattern going on with the show is that they have their one bit and they ride it out for the entire episode pretty much. Throwing in like a obscene curveball, but then they kind of get back to the bit. They usually, somehow include the main character who is Kaiyama.
Sure.
What, you don't
Takashi.
remember your name?
I don't fucking remember
Takashi's
his name.
Takashi
dude.
Kayama.
Yeah.
Takashi's Castle.
Yeah. Yeah, I went with last names because that's how they usually talk to each other. And I think there's another Takashi, so I think it get a little confusing.
The one episode I actually
Takashi
did.
and Takashi.
Yeah.
The one episode I actually did find very funny. That's probably my favorite episode. Was the episode we got introduced to the robot.
That would
Where
be
the-
episode 2, I think.
Yeah, so where the two main characters, the dude with the freaking quaif or like
Pointy
poof on
hair.
his head that moves and has like a pulse. When they were watching people, they're like, okay, they're finally gonna tell him he's a robot. Man, I just want to tell you that I think you're a very funny guy. It's like they're like, what? No one wanted to, either no one saw that he was a robot or no one wanted to tell him he was a robot. I thought it was funny, and they're just like, what the hell is wrong with the school?
Yeah, I think his name is Hayashida.
Yeah, the purple hair guy.
Yeah, Hayashida is him with the tail on his head, pretty much, is what that does, and it constantly grows. It's definitely weird. But,
Yeah.
I mean, we got that out of the way, so let's start with the first episode, which I don't have the names, so if anyone has the names of the episodes pulled up, feel free to
I'll
let us
go
know.
to
I used
Crunchyroll.
to be a bad boy bragging contest.
Okay. So with this, we are immediately thrown into the opening of the anime where it's what's his face? Kaiyama goes like, do not replicate any of this stuff that any of these people do. They are all delinquents. Please, seriously, man, don't do it. And then the
Don't do
opening
it.
starts. How do you guys like the intro?
I love it. I actually really like it. It fits really well.
It's very vibe.
Yeah.
It is really vibey. I like that part. The disclaimer I think was fine. Maybe the first episode, maybe the second and third one, but all 8 episodes we watched so
Dude,
far
I
is like I
bet
kind of
it's
get
gonna
the
be
point.
on every episode. Yeah.
I know. I know.
It's like a quick
As if I didn't
like
think.
5-10 second like disclaimer, with Kayama just freaking out over the hoodlums that go
Yeah.
to the school.
And, yeah, I mean, I like half the intro, I guess, like the actual intro song, and it gets kind of, I don't know. The vocals I think are a little weird, but I think it fits very well
Doki
with the
doki
show.
doki.
But it's a
Something
minute and a half taken away from the 11 minutes that are of each
I
episode.
know. Yeah,
So
that's kind
That's
of
why I like it so much.
yeah, yeah, I agree.
I it was kind of surprising because like the first time I heard it, I was like, all right, it's pretty good. And then like I watched like episode 2 and 3, and I just kept skipping it. Just kind of get a move on, like I usually do with some animes. But then when like episode 4 and onward, I just kept listening to the opening.
Excuse me, sir. The plural of anime is anime.
What did I say?
Animes. It's not a thing.
You hurt my feelings, Pink Man.
I'm not. Fuck you.
Fix your contrast.
I don't know how.
It's all right, Mitch. At this point, I'd rather be pink than to be a slideshow.
Timestamp this. What time are we at? 11 minutes. 11 minutes. That is the screenshot. That is the screenshot. Remember that?
All right, continue.
All right. But while Mitch is blinding himself with the light, yeah, I came back into just listening to the opening. I was just kind of hooked on it. It's really good. Or it's just chill, That's kind of how they expect you to watch this show. Just kind of laying down, just, relaxing. It's not supposed to make sense.
Just laying down, relaxing,
Chilling
making
with
sure
the
you
boys.
fall asleep,
Yeah, honestly.
like Josh.
How's the traffic out there, Josh?
Pretty quiet at the moment. That'll change.
But let's move into episode 1. Intro's obviously dope. So then we're introduced to the main character, who we've already mentioned, Takashi Kayama. And he's just kind of like a straight A type of student that gets transferred to this one really nasty high school called Cromartie. So he doesn't fit in at all, so he's completely nervous, and he leaves a lot of diary entries for his mother, just to
Dearest
keep her
mother.
upper. Yeah, just
Just to keep her upper.
Keep her upper.
keep her on
Upper.
keep her on the
Moving.
upper, keep her on the
moving.
upper.
Keep her going.
Keep
So
her
then the first pretty much bit we get of the show is Kayama fumbles a pencil on the ground, freaks out. This one dude picks it up. It's going to be like, here's your pencil, bro. And he's like, hey, thanks very much. This guy, without hesitation, puts the pencil in his mouth and proceeds to eat it. Pretty much all the way through. Kayama obviously freaks out about that and proceeds to call his bluff and pour the rest of 70 pencils on the desk or some shit. The guy hesitates a little bit and then just starts downing these pencils in one shot. Would you guys ever eat that many pencils, you think?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I'd like to see Mitch try to do that. I'd probably pay to see that.
We could have that be an episode of the podcast.
See how many
Yeah.
pencils? Good lord.
All right, that's the one you need the timestamp for.
That's the thumbnail.
I'm gonna have too many to choose
No,
from now.
that's going to be
You're
the intro
welcome,
for the
Trav.
episode. That's
You're
gonna
making
be
it
the intro
harder
the
for me
episode.
now. Oh,
You're welcome,
okay.
Trav.
There you
Oh
go.
my god.
Content
Oh,
king,
man.
baby.
All right.
When he fumbled the pencil and the dude picked it up and just started munching on it, and like the tip of the pencil was like flailing around his mouth, like outside his mouth. I actually thought that was his tongue for some reason.
Yeah,
I was like,
it
dude,
had
that's
the pencil had like a smiley face and shit on it. It's
super weird.
It was like swirling around like you're choking up pasta or some shit.
But
Did anyone else?
I probably
Sorry, Yusuf. Continue.
no,
Better
I
apologize
was
to the
probably
PowerPoint.
gonna. I would have probably done the same thing that Kamiyama did. Just drop the rest of the pencils and be like,
Call the
bet.
bluff. Yeah.
Then he's
I'll
like,
call your bluff.
oh shit, I gotta do it now.
Yeah, and in the background you just see him like kind of shuffling away a little bit and puke out a bunch of pencils. I mean, at least you hear him puke them out. So after that, we go
Wait,
to
did, it,
go ahead.
did anyone else notice? It was later in the show too, but whatever they're suck, if it's supposed to be a cigarette, if it's supposed to be like a lollipop, how they're like little blue and pink things are hairy and they like pulsate and they like make noise.
I had no idea what that was.
I don't
You
know
said
either.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
you said cigarette, and that makes a lot of sense, honestly.
I thought maybe it was like censoring a cigarette, like they were trying to be funny and censor the cigarette before the
That
like
makes
production,
a
like
lot
the
of sense.
TV.
Yeah.
But
Why would they censor a cigarette but not the other cuss words that they?
I think
Say
it's,
though.
They say fudging. They say that instead of
it's
the
not
actual F.
it's not to censor it. It's to make fun of censorship. I think
Yeah.
Gotcha.
so because they drop a hard F-bomb in episode 1.
They drop a
I
massive
was
gamer
like-
word.
I was like, this.
I
You can tell the show was made in the early 2000s. Bro. Holy shit!
Yeah.
So
That's where I woke up when I was about to fall asleep. I'm like,
Oh,
I did not dream that.
yeah, I don't know what the context was for the gamer word being said,
they
but
they were watching another class, and I don't know that they like. I think it was when Mecha they were
Some
talking about
robot guy.
yeah,
We're
the
talking
whole
to Mechazawa.
They're talking about their feelings.
yeah, the whole bit of episode 2 was introducing Mekazawa, which we'll get to in a minute, but we just got to wrap up episode 1 here. So after the whole pencil scene, we go to a completely different thing where they start like a fight club between like them trying to figure out who's the most badass, and they're like talking smack between like their nicknames and stuff.
Didn't understand this at all.
So they were trying to figure out who the most badass in the class was, and I forgot his name. I'll remember it later in the notes. But yeah, they go up. A bunch of tough guys go up to Kayama and ask him what his like nickname is, or mock him and stuff. And he's like, "I'll have you know, they called me Errand Boy in my other school." And he's like, "What?" But then I believe it was the fuck was his name? I always forget it. God damn it. Pink Mohawk or Purple Mohawk shows up.
I like how in this anime, Trav is actually saying
I'm
people's
trying.
names.
I'm
Where
trying.
in other anime,
It's
he's like
freaking
Tofu,
hard.
Tangerine. Like when they're easy names to remember.
I want to
Travis
give
the
this
hard
show.
carry
I'm,
this right now.
I'm gonna fucking try a little bit on this one because I want to do
Who
Yeah,
this
is-
one
this is
justice.
Who are you
gonna make
looking
you
at?
pick.
Who are you looking
He's
at?
passionate about
I'm
it.
looking at my better half over there that's hiding in the corner, scratching itself.
In the closet? Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
What? Excuse me? That's for episode 2, Mitch. Come on.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Jesus Christ.
Hayashida.
Hayashida?
Hiding.
Yep.
Okay.
Cheetah.
So then Hayashida
Tumba.
pretty much backs up the main dude by saying like this guy's probably the most badass, honestly, because we're all a bunch of like lions and shit in this school, but we got a bunny right here chilling with the lions. Obviously he has to be the most badass bunny. So then that's why Kayama becomes like one of the judges for determining who's the most badass. So then he has to go visit a couple of the like what people claim as like the most badass students. So the first one we're introduced to after they open the door is this really tall, muscular man with a mustache who, you know, kind of resembles, you know, Freddie Mercury a little bit. But, you know,
I was really wondering about this because there's obviously a lot of likeness utilized for this character, and I wonder if that's something that they actually had to like pay to get some of the rights to or
No
whatever.
way.
Because like
No
they
shot.
straight up put him in the outfit that he wears on stage and everything.
They
Bro,
never distinctly say that that's Freddie Mercury. They just say, you know what, the guy looks like a Freddie to me. Or, you know, that's what they just name him. So whenever you see that character, they just call him Freddie. But that doesn't exactly mean they are calling him Freddie Mercury because, you know, I don't know how that shit works.
Even if they did call him Freddie Mercury, I know unless laws are different in Japan, but like just look at South Park. South Park literally uses like Michael Jackson and Snooki and like these real people in their shows without getting their permission. So I don't think you
know
can
how that likeness
copyright
stuff works.
a likeness. Yeah, I don't know, but
I mean,
Can I
maybe
just
if
jump
it's
back
like,
for a sec?
Because if they can copyright likeness, I would like to copyright the show for using the fucking gorilla. Thank you very much.
What? Oh,
What?
okay.
how
Is it
important do you
Harambe?
think you are, Mitri, that you could copyright gorillas?
I would like, on behalf of Harambe, copyright gorillas from fair
Hey,
use.
too soon, man. We lost him too soon.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that was like 20 years ago now, right?
Yep. That's an interesting one to have.
No, what?
Okay, we got it.
Copyrighted. No, we gotta juice this out a little bit longer. But go ahead, Yusuf. You're
If
gonna
I
say
could
something?
if I could just reel it back just for like 30 seconds since the anime is like 10 minutes long. When he was like reading tips, uh, it had like this weird image flashing around
Mm-hmm.
in the background. Like, what the hell is that thing?
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. But I'm assuming that's like an author or something in the background.
Think so?
Yeah, that's my only guess. He's just saying like, hey, if you want to look like a badass, dye your hair. But if you mess it up, it's gonna turn. You gotta bleach your hair. But if you mess it up, your hair's gonna look white. Obviously,
Yeah.
Kayama messes it up, and to make himself look more badass, according to the author, he shaves his eyebrows, and then he has to do the walk, and then at the end of this, the author's like, full disclaimer though, you should probably do all this shit before school starts, and then Kayama's just like, well, we'll wait for that. I already did all that shit.
Yeah, luckily that look did not persist because the thing I immediately thought of when I saw that, and that maybe you guys, if you were to go back and watch it now, is that after he bleached his hair,
I know.
shaved his eyebrows,
Yeah, it looked
he
just
looked
like
a lot.
Killua.
Oh, I was gonna say he looked just like Saitama from One Punch.
Nah, he
I knew
definitely
you'd
looked a
love
lot. He looked just like Killua, man. Like add a little lightning and Godspeed and stuff, and there you go. Got the next Hunter x Hunter, right, Mitch? Mitch, Mitchy, Mitch, Killua, and Cromartie.
So episode 2.
So episode 1 ends after the meeting with Freddy. They open the last door and it's a effing gorilla, and that's the end of episode 1. No reason to keep going further with it. So we get to
Did
episode
it say
2.
who was the strongest?
I think they actually introduced Mekazawa at the end too. Actually,
The main character I thought was the strongest.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why I
it
was.
this weird
That's why I was
competition.
confused because I thought he was supposed to be the leader, and now it's just a different guy.
yeah, no, they were trying to determine the strongest ones, and it seems like with the test of endurance, Kayama proved himself with that. But I don't know. I don't think there's any like distinct answer who is the strongest. They just kind of introduced the main players of the show and moved on to episode 2. So we were introduced to Freddy, Gorilla, and Mekazawa. Mekazawa was the last one they showed, and who is the main star of episode 2. So that one starts with, let's see. I wrote down Kayama breaks the fourth wall somehow. I don't remember how he does it, though. I think it was at the very start of the show or episode.
Is that all the you should have read the manga
Yes.
thing?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
They gave me.
you're right.
I think that's the last time, at least that I remember, the last time it's mentioned is right at the beginning of episode 2. Is
Yeah.
saying you should have read the manga.
If you want a more elaborate backstory, read the manga.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that's been brought up anymore past that point. But then both Kayama and his friend, Yusuf, help me, pink hair dude, purple hair dude.
Hayashida.
So Hayashida and Kayama kind of, look into Mekazawa, trying to be like, how do people like actually look at this guy? It's obviously a robot, right? We're not crazy, right? So then, bye Yusuf.
Oh, bye, Yusuf.
Okay, so, hi, Yusuf.
Welcome back. You gonna show us another PowerPoint? Hello?
Gonna try.
All right, what's on the presentation today?
The same old white background.
Damn.
Even
Look at that.
worse.
Mm.
Now it's a
Gotta-
still image, but it's hella more pixelated.
Dude, gotta love
wait.
static images.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, it's so fucked up.
So
Robot.
both of those two are looking into Mekazawa because they just want, by Yusuf, they just want to know that they're not crazy by by the other people, because everyone else views Mekazawa as a normal like high school student, but those two are just like, that's obviously a robot, right? We're not crazy. So then pretty much the entire episode is one of the
Other people
hoodlums.
getting incredibly close.
Hey,
but
Mekazawa.
never actually saying it.
I know we're tight, right? We're really good friends, right? And Mekazawa would be like, yeah, I see you all as family. I would die for any one of you. You could tell me anything, and I would never be hurt. And then the main hoodlum would be like, hey, bro, you're missing your second button. With all the anticipation of them about to say, hey, you're a robot. And Kayama is always disappointed because you always get so close to the reveal that everyone sees Mekazawa as a robot. But he's seen with his button being broke, being told that he has a very big face. And then we cut to a scene where he actually gets stolen from another rival school and is being interrogated to look up the head honchos or something of Cromartie. And again, it keeps building up because Kayama and the other guy are watching, and they're all just waiting in angst just to see the reveal. Other people see Mekazawa as a robot and not as just a normal student. But that never comes to happen. In fact, one of the rival school students gets close to revealing that, but then gets mad at him and stabs him with his knife. But because Mekazawa has such a hard head, it broke his strawberry shortcake blade. And that became just a piece of rubber bouncing. And then episode 2 ends with Mekazawa reuniting with the past school friend.
Roly poly.
You guys all understand that?
Yeah, that made a lot of sense. Thanks for the beautiful summary.
Got fucking 6 more episodes go.
I was really annoyed with how often it kept flashing back to both Kamiyama and Ayashida being like, oh, come on.
Just
so
say
close.
it already. Just say it. Just say it. They're so
Dude.
close.
How many times are you guys going to flash in the frame and then say the same thing in unison but staggered by half a second? It was so annoying.
That's what the show does, man.
Yeah, it was kind of
that almost annoyed me more than the freaking guy in Demon Slayer, the swordsmith guy chasing chasing guys around. Oh man.
But I mean, we just get exposed to Mekazawa, which I don't really mind because I definitely like Mekazawa. He's kind of a weird character, and I mean, bless you. And then
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Yep.
Relax, PowerPoint. All right, but yeah,
Well, I'm trying
much-
not to move. Okay. Calm down.
pretty much the
It's not
best part of that episode is the whole strawberry shortcake blade because I did not see that coming at all.
Oh, he's not just a short, fat, round guy.
He
He's a short, fat, round guy with a hard head.
He also broke my strawberry shortcake blade.
Wait, was this the episode where they had this one boss guy in the corner that walks up to him?
That's his old
He's
school
like-
friend. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, it's my friend."
Wait.
The other dude just whips out the knife.
Wait. Wait, that can't be. It shouldn't be. He's gonna say it. He's gonna absolutely say it. You're my old school friend, Mekazawa. holy shit, it's you. And then, yeah, both Kayama and the other guy's name that I keep forgetting, Hayashida, are fully disappointed at the end of the episode. Mitch, thoughts? Loved it? Hated it?
Yeah. Yes.
Glad it's over?
Yes.
I don't know. Which background would you want? Green or blue for that one?
Well, do you notice how when it's blue, I'm more orange. When it's green, I'm like fucking, what the fuck?
I don't know. Why don't you change it green?
When it's green, I get really pink, and then when it's red, I just turn into the ghost of Christmas past. So
You
I
can't
don't know
win,
which
dude.
one I like the best.
Pick what you want.
No, they're all wonderful, but you'll have to rate each episode by your color, right?
Yeah.
So blue being your favorite, green being your favorite, and white being your absolute favorite, or was it red?
Red.
Red. All right.
Red. No, this is my favorite episode probably.
But then, what, episode 2 or 3?
2.
Wow. Okay, strong words. But episode 3 was my personal favorite. Does anyone want to rant about it?
I hate this episode so much. Literally.
Out of respect for Trav picking this anime, I let it play, but I walked out of my fucking room for half the episode because I'm like, there's no shot I'm spending 10 minutes listening to these dudes just hum out of tune.
Bro,
Jesus
I
Christ.
don't think I have ever, like, you know what, when you're watching on a monitor, you can move mouse to see how much time left you have in the episode. I must have done that every 2 seconds. Like, oh, is this over yet? Is this fucking over yet? Is this fucking over yet? Is this fucking over yet?
So, for obvious context, the episode starts with Hayashida. Yes. He starts humming a song, but he's just trying to figure out the title of the song. So he recruits Kayama, and then Kayama obviously hums it incorrectly because he's thinking of a different song. So then they go to the other students to ask, but now they're looking for 2 different songs. So then they decide to prioritize figuring out Hayashida's song. So now you just have a bunch of jackasses running across the school, humming everywhere, the same song, the same note. All they're doing is just blowing out their noses pretty much. And this all works up into a literal concert that they're having with the song. What did you think of the concert, guys? Was it majestical?
Okay. Because the concert is a result of them finally figuring out I don't know if you said that, but finally figuring out.
They don't.
They don't?
No.
Oh, I
They
thought
don't.
They
They
did.
never do.
do.
They're all humming
They
because they've all been
train-
humming the same shit for the past 10 minutes.
Shows you how much I've been paying attention.
Yeah.
The concert was like, okay, cool, concert, whatever.
Yeah,
Right,
but you
they're
had
humming
Freddie,
They're
singing.
gonna, I was like, whatever, cool.
Oh,
This is kind of funny. Oh wait, they're gonna hum it again. Okay, whatever. Oh wait, they're gonna hum it again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Literally, it was like fucking 4 minutes. Not even kidding. It was like 4 minutes of them standing on stage humming. And I was like, what is happening?
So
I
good.
hate this.
So then,
I was just sitting in my chair like this. I was just like,
Josh.
Saved it. Just give it the mute
I was just, again, I was really annoyed. Just the fact that every time they hummed, they closed up on their faces and their nostrils were just flaring every time they made a
oh my
noise.
god, that was so weird.
I was
dude.
so triggered, dude. Oh my god. God, I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah.
You know, after this episode, I stopped watching for the night, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a couple days. I pick it back up.
I will say I love that the fact that they committed to the episode and that they did the humming.
that was the
with
bit,
like,
man.
it wasn't like intentionally. They didn't like really try, or I guess I should say, You could tell that the voice actors were trying in that they were putting a lot of effort, but they didn't try to make it sound good because there were definitely times, especially with Kayama, where he'd be humming and you could like hear his voice cracking when he was humming. That made it slightly funnier.
Yeah.
But yeah, still difficult to listen to people humming for about 10 minutes straight.
Well, it's like you always had like the back and forth too. They would like go up to somebody, hum the song by Yusuf, and then they would. Mitch, you're all split up now. You okay? All right, work both cams.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
You gotta.
Wait, I gotta go this way. I gotta go this way.
Yeah,
Hello?
there
Am
you
I on
go.
this cam now?
Yeah.
Hi, Yusuf.
And Yusuf said his Discord crashed, so there you go. Hey, can you pull up another PowerPoint for us, please?
Yeah, bro, I was enjoying my PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah.
Just give me a minute. Let me see if I can give you guys some education.
Well,
60 seconds.
we're gonna keep going though, because what was I mentioning? They were talking about, they kept humming back and forth, and it always end with somebody like, "Oh, I know that song," and they would hum it too. And they're like, "Oh yeah, do you know the title of it?" "No." "Well, what the fuck, man?" You know, they didn't get anywhere, and the episode ends after the concert and stuff. They were like, "Man, we got really good at singing it, but we still don't know the name of the damn song." So then the episode ends with Kayama.
They
Nope.
did figure out what the
Nope.
melody of the song was.
No, you were saying the title.
No,
Weren't
I
you?
knew they never figured out the title. I was saying they figured out what the melody
Well, we
was.
were assuming you thought the title, so
No, we
apologize,
weren't- we
Josh,
weren't
you
fucking
shithead.
talk- we weren't fucking
God,
talking
quit
about
making
the title.
assumptions, Josh. Jesus Christ. All
Why
right.
are you making that face, Josh? What the fuck's
Yeah.
wrong? Like,
Yeah, come on.
take a shirt or something?
Oh,
Or
stop
That's
making
not
fun
what
of
you
my
said.
PowerPoint.
That's not what you said.
God,
yes,
Yusuf.
it is. You fucking
Yusuf.
idiot.
Yeah, Josh, doofus.
We've got to record.
God.
We're going to go back. We're
We
going
have,
to
we have a PowerPoint. Roll it back, PowerPoint.
I said they
Good
figured
job.
out what the song was. I never said they figured out what the title of the song was.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, that's implied
What?
when you say what they figured out what the song was.
all right. Moving on,
That's
because
what they
it
were
doesn't matter. Because the episode ends with Kayama chilling on a bench. How's the traffic out there, Josh? Everything going good?
Louder now.
Oh, nice. So then Kayama sitting on a bench, and Mekazawa walks by, humming the same exact song we've been hearing, for like a solid minute or so, not much longer past that. And Kayama says like, "Yeah, I know the song," and then he's like, "Oh shit, I can't ask Mekazawa now the title because now I look like a jackass." So then they spend the rest of the night humming the song, and that's where episode 3 ends. Mitch's obvious favorite episode, my personal favorite. That one was amazing. I had a great time. Right, PowerPoint? Is he crashing? Blink. Okay, he's dead. He's dead, guys. He's dead. It's only the three of us now.
Dang.
But then we
Oh,
are...
Look at that.
There you go. Perfect. Perfect
That's nice.
still.
Right there. That'll be the one for the thumbnail.
There you go.
Or the outro, I mean.
So it seems like in episode 4, we start with the introduction of Takanuchi, but we don't really get to see too much of him. We're just pretty much introduced that he's one of the top guys in Cromartie, and then we move on to one of the rival schools where we're introduced to one of their big machos, Yamaguchi, who's the guy with the big afro, and he has a love for comedy, and he definitely regrets becoming like the head boss because it's too much work, and he wants to focus on his comedy career. What do you guys think of Yamaguchi?
We were talking about internal monologues before we started up the episode. This is like perfect example of that being like, again, pretty annoying and just taking up all the time of this episode.
Yeah, definitely.
It was like
with the-
entertaining to start.
No, definitely with the like inner monologues. It definitely feels like after like the first couple ones, it definitely feels like padding for the episode, and it gets a little pretty exhausting. Actually, not a little. It gets to the point where it's just like, all right, whenever Yamaguchi's on the screen, it's like, okay, nothing is going to happen. Granted, this is Cromartie. Nothing really happens, but it's still kind of annoying. So Yamaguchi's whole bit was trying to figure out the best time to try to throw a bit out there, a joke and stuff. But he was trying to build up the confidence in order to say it to his entire posse. He was willing to throw away his entire like credit and rank and stuff just to lay this bit out, just for this one guy of his rogues gallery to steal it from him, and then he beats the shit out of him. So that just gives him the image that he is the top guy and he doesn't like any jokes, which is pretty much the complete opposite of what he is. So ironic. So then after like their little board meeting they had at their rival school, they go to like a little cafe where Yamaguchi brags about how he sends in postcards to radio stations, and he loves, giving them their bits and stuff, and a lot of people laugh. But this new rival has appeared called Honey Boy, and he's very infuriated because he can't seem to one-up Honey Boy. But the person behind him, Kayama, reveals that he is Honey Boy. And he's just doing it as a hobby. He's not even trying to take it serious at all, which annoys Yamaguchi. But after eavesdropping, he manages to steal one of Kayama's jokes. He even express mails it to the radio station. Sadly, the bit doesn't land. Sadly. Was an absolute dud. After his afro pulsated multiple times with the thought of it exploding, he definitely threw in a bit that didn't land. And what's worse, they even announced that he sent it express. So he just looks like a fool. Looks like a doofus. Just like my webcam. Focus. Doofus.
I guess I couldn't tell then, because it seemed like Kayama was trying to tell... What was his name again, Yusuf?
Hayashida?
I was asking Yusuf.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Ayashida.
Oh, thank you, Yusuf. It seemed like he
has
was
to put that
trying
up
to
in text,
tell
dude.
him. It seemed like he was trying to tell him that it wasn't that good of a
Ayashida.
joke. Thank you,
Did it
Yusuf.
Hayashida?
But then I couldn't tell then if he. I couldn't tell if when he sent in the joke that maybe he just overheard it wrong because Kayama was whispering, or if it really just was that bad of a joke.
Yeah.
But I guess that's not really the point. It's just that he failed and he feels bad.
Yeah, it's just he sent it to express mail and it's just a dud. He just looks like a doofus now. Which it doesn't really make him like angry at Kayama. It just makes him feel like a failure, I guess. It doesn't really affect him too much because he's still gonna keep pursuing his comedy career in a later episode.
I hope so.
I mean, this one definitely was a little bit of a stinker because I don't think we really care that much about Yamaguchi. His hair pulsates and he talks about comedy and a bunch of inner monologues and stuff. So, yeah, the sooner we're past that episode, the better, really. Even though I'm pretty sure Yamaguchi is Mitch's favorite character, right?
I don't know. Besides Mekazawa, I really don't have an opinion on any of the other characters.
You don't
He
relate
definitely
to
takes
Gorilla?
comedy very, very seriously. Tamagotchi was like really pissed when his underling was telling jokes that he either had in his head or whatever to make him steal the spotlight. So
Yeah, poor Yamaguchi. He'll never.
Tamagotchi.
Yeah.
poor Tamagotchi.
Mm-hmm.
Or Tamagotchi.
Well, I mean, we get to Tamagotchis later with Yamaguchi. I have to keep looking at my notes because I can't remember these goddamn names.
Hayashida.
Yeah, that one's rough. I only wrote it down like once and I don't remember where. But
What about you wrote down Kamiyama's name wrong because you keep saying Kayama.
yeah, I don't know. It's like Kamiyama, but I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah,
said
that's
it.
it.
What the fuck
I
do you
like how
mean?
you just said it, yeah.
I don't know how I've been saying it
That's
this
it.
whole time. I can't look into the past, except for future me that's going to be watching this shit and doesn't want to, so bad. Fuck you, future me. But
I'm displaying it here on my PowerPoint, so you'll never forget.
It'll take a little bit to load, but
it's coming. It's coming. It's coming, all right. So then...
It's not coming.
Oh, no.
let's
All right. Feels bad. Let's move on to episode
It skipped,
5
it
then.
skipped the one frame you had a 50-50 shot of landing on.
So now we're... In the previous episode, we were introduced to... what was his name? Takanuchi, who's like
Sounds right.
one of the big bads, and big bald guy who is motion sick. So in episode 5, the whole bit is them taking a trip with what was his name? Takanuchi.
Yutaka Takanuchi.
Chimpokemon. Dude, fuck me. So he's motion sick, and they're having a field trip. He doesn't like going on trips because he's motion sick, but he sucks it up because he really likes the atmosphere, and he doesn't want to miss out on a good trip and a good journey. But then, while he's sucking it up alone in the back, still looking like a badass, Kayama sits down on his lap.
Gives a good old lap
which
dance.
was a
It wasn't on his lap. It was like in between his legs.
Yeah.
well, either way, it's probably a not very comfortable position for Takanuchi. So, after a bunch of like roads and speed bumps and stuff, Takanuchi is slowly losing his will and is slowly slipping. He is going to throw up. He does not want to throw up. And it doesn't help that Kayama is moving around with him. He feels bad for getting in his way and noticed that he is sleepy, so hungry, and offers him his pudding. Just seeing the pudding with the motion sickness makes Takanuchi pass out. So he pretty much loses that bus ride there. And then the episode continues with... Go ahead, Yusuf. PowerPoint?
No, I was gonna say, did you mention who Takanuchi is?
Yeah, he's one of
Because
the
he
head.
makes the point to say who he is.
Yeah, he is a badass who never backs down from fights. He has definitely a big rap sheet.
Well, no, he's the leader for like the first years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Even
he's one of
has
the
the
top
respect for
dogs.
the third years.
Acknowledge him.
Yeah, he gets the respect of the third years as well. Yeah, good point. He definitely likes to announce this every single scene he is in, which he does in the next scene, where he gets recruited by Hayashida and what was his name? Kayama, to go rescue one of their friends, whose name I still don't know because we're not on that episode yet. He's just a blonde guy that was in episode 1.
It's like Mata or something short.
Yeah, no,
That
that's
one name that was short.
yeah, it's probably it.
Manga.
I know it's a short name. So they recruit him to go help him because he got kidnapped from a rival school, and this results in him having to get into a cab. And of course, he's in the middle seat and he cannot handle it. And for some reason, Freddy's in the cab as well.
Was this the same episode?
Yep.
I
Yeah.
thought it was a different one.
Nope.
Same one.
Bad.
I'm surprised how common it is for these kids to get kidnapped by kids of other schools.
Yeah, you just kind of blink and one of them's like kidnapped or something.
Oh, somebody got kidnapped. Oh, again.
Ugh, it's gonna hurt the pride of Cromartie High if we let these guys walk all over us. So then, obviously, Takanuchi doesn't want to take the cab, so he was like, it's only going to be like 20 minutes to walk down there. And they insist, like, we got to go now in the cab. We'll get there as soon as possible. Over an hour and a half or so later, the taxi driver announces, yeah, I'm new here. I don't know where the F I'm going. To Takanuchi's utter dismay. And he obviously keeps getting lost, and he's in the countryside now. And this is where Freddy takes the world map from 1980s and navigates them back. Freddy doesn't navigate them to what was his name, Maeda. He doesn't navigate them to the right place. He just navigates them back to Cromartie High, which results in Takanuchi being pissed. And, obviously, the friend is left hanging, quite literally, in the warehouse. So, poor, what was his name? Maeda?
Maeda.
Sure.
Margarita.
The Midas touch.
I'm starting to like this only because I get to hear things that I've never heard out of Travis's mouth, like utter dismay.
Yeah. I try to use big words.
Yeah,
I've
for
never
the
ta-
first time, Trav knows the names of the characters that we don't.
Yeah, dude, this is hard. I don't like this.
I've never heard Travis talk so eloquently.
Yeah, well, thank you. I had to do it sometime in my life, right? I had to wait till talking about Cromartie High School to get to this point, but we did. Anyone's thoughts on episode 5? Oh,
Fucking felt like an hour and a half.
well, it was an hour and a half in the taxi, Mitch. It's just trying to be realistic for you.
Good job then.
Yeah.
Would you rate it a green or a red?
I'll rate it a fucking next episode.
On this episode.
This episode.
So then I guess with that, we will go into episode 6, where we're introduced to the other Takashi. Takashi Hokoto, Hokoto or something like that. And they announce him being like this by Yusuf. They introduce him as like kind of this snotty, like rich boy, definitely a daddy's boy, where he, because of his father's influence with like the school board and stuff, he was able to take control of 18 other high schools before showing up at Cromartie. I accidentally set my phone on my power button. Oh, so Yusuf decided to pull a fast one on us and turn off his computer. Mitchie is split in his decision.
Lucky.
Which does he like this episode or does he not like this episode? It looks like he had some words about Hokoto.
What do you think it is?
I have about my coat hanging up. Yeah, sure, it's a cool coat.
Yeah.
My coat. Oh.
Anything about Hokoto that you want to say?
The
His
only thing
long, luscious locks.
The only thing I remember about this character is the way he walks. I like that. He walks with like a fucking like Conor McGregor swagger.
Swagger walk.
Yeah. So
And
then
he wears white when they all wear black.
after
I remember.
his lackey is like hyping him up to take over Cromartie, he opens the door and sees Freddy and instantly is just like, nope, not doing that. We can't do it. We can't take him out, But then after hyping himself up and seeing Kayama and, what was his name again? Hayashida? Yusuf, where are you? PowerPoint, help!
Yusuf,
Where are
we're
you?
lost without you.
Mitch, you gotta play the PowerPoint now, dude. Oh, never mind.
How
Let's
you-
run. Hey, welcome back.
Yusuf, what was that one guy's name?
Please.
We'll wait. We'll wait.
Give it to me.
We can wait. We can wait.
Nope, can't. So then after the lackey re-hypes up Hokoto, they both open the door and see the gorilla. And obviously they tap out. They're like, fuck this school. We're not taking it over. This is impossible. But then the lackey kind of explains it to Hokoto that Kayama's actually one of the top dogs or has control or some influence over the big three. The big three being Takanuchi, the gorilla, and Freddy. Those are the three heads of Cromartie. And obviously they all rely on Kayama for some reason.
Oh, the passport.
That's all folks.
The PowerPoint's gone.
There goes the end of that bit. I mean, we stretched it as long as we could. We're at 53
We
minutes,
stretched
so we
it
did
more
it.
than an episode of Cromartie High School.
Yeah, we did. Hell yeah. In the next episode. So after Hokoto approaches Kayama and is pretty much threatening him with his father's power and influence over the school board, they find out that Cromartie has nothing to do with the school board. In fact, they don't even wear the white uniforms that he's wearing. So what's going on here? Oh, Hokoto just went to the wrong goddamn school. So all this was pretty much for no reason. So then instead of admitting that he went to the wrong school, he doubles down on a lie. He says, well, my my father's like an evil overlord or some shit, and I've come here to hone my skills. And of course, the Lackey's like, nah, they're never gonna buy this shit. They're not that dumb. Obviously, Kayama and Hayashida buy it because they're dipshits. They say they're dipshits. And instead of admitting to the truth and, after recruiting both of them into his army, he decides to double down on the lie and promote Kayama to the leader of this resistance against his father, his evil overlord father. And they even show up at his apartment to plan strategies because, they're worried that Hokoto will be assassinated by his father, which he claims because he's told another white lie, or, major one. So this entire episode was just Hokoto smelling his own farts, smelling they don't fucking stink, and him just completely lying and digging him further in the hole. So yeah, PowerPoint, what do you think of Hokoto and his nice forehead dimple, which you pointed out in chat? Oh my god. He has motion.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, you mean me, the PowerPoint? Nah, that's the old me.
Who's the new you? Camera?
Yeah.
Live feedback?
Zoom call.
I actually was not paying attention to all the lies he told. I don't know what the hell happened to his father. I think I remember him saying something about his father is the leader of the board for the school, and then Hayashida
Which
comes
is
in.
the truth, yeah.
He's like, bruh, our school is municipal. We don't have a board. And he's like, oh shit.
Oh fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
But like Mitch said, I like this character and the way he walks in the intro.
Mm-hmm.
His dimple is kind of distracting, so
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about with dimple.
He has like
this
a dot on his
black
forehead.
diamond, dot on his.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a mole or something. I don't know what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
No, I think what was his name? Hokoto. I think he's all right. I don't know.
I feel bad for his lackey because it seems like he's the brains. He's the only normal one.
His lackey's way smarter than him, and for some reason follows him. I guess because of his father's influence or something. It's kind of like the whole lie, like my dad works at Nintendo or some shit. That's what Hokoto's kind of relying on wholesale.
Yeah.
But it's
Did you
definitely
say that
backfired on him.
at the end they all ended up at Hakuto's house?
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah.
They
I
wanted
thought
to
that was
defend him.
funny. Yeah.
They're like, I can't get out of this lie.
That's
Yeah,
big brain plays.
Hakoto's just gonna keep doubling down on this lie. I'm pretty sure as long as we know him. Which I mean, next episode 7, we get introduced back to Yamaguchi, and this episode sucked fucking wieners.
This one was actually I hated this episode
Yeah, I didn't like it
more
either.
than the humming one, more than
Is this
the
the-
first time we saw Tamagotchi.
It's the one with the
It was
puta. The puta.
Oh, yeah. This episode made me like Tamaguchi watch whatever the fuck his name is, Yamaguchi.
Yep.
Watching Puta was like me watching this show. I was like, when is this gonna fucking
I don't
end?
get it. How do people find this funny?
Yes.
But I'll keep watching it to understand the secrets. Yeah, so this episode definitely annoying because it's just more inner monologue with Yamaguchi. He wants to recruit Kayama to be a partnership so they can both enhance their comedy careers together. But when he finally worked up the confidence at the cafe, he overheard Kayama mention that he loves the show Puta, which at the beginning of the episode, Yamaguchi shows utter disdain for. There's that again. So we know full context that Yamaguchi absolutely hates Puta or any shows kind of, doing random ass skits like Family Guy or something like that. So they want deeper comedy. But he really wants this partnership with Honey Boy or, Kayama. And he decides to study and research and pretty much go full binge mode in terms of Puta episodes. Puta is just two dudes in stuffed animal costumes. One's like a bear and a rabbit, or one's a bear, one's a rabbit. I don't really know who the hell Puta is. I don't know if they're both Puta or the one that keeps complaining is, but it's
One's
just
Puta, one's Putan.
oh, Jesus. Yeah, they pretty much just go back and forth, with just normal, everyday like problems. Like I met someone that they knew me, but I didn't remember their name, which sucks because you feel like a jerk. But I mean, how is that like in a cartoon or live action show?
That's relatable.
Yeah. So the whole episode is just Yamaguchi going back and forth with Puta episodes, just doing. He watches an episode, inner monologue, he freaks out, watches another episode, inner monologue, freaks out, and then at the very end, he finally hypes himself up to finally understand Puta, but then they show a completely different show called, what was it, Gettertown?
I didn't think it could get worse at this point.
Which is like a little baby, a little like cartoon baby just doing random shit. Don't know what's going on there. I was like, I pulled a Mitch and I looked at the time. I was like, when are we fucking done with this one, dude? Let's get out of this one.
This was the point where I was convinced someone had drugged me. And I was fucking tripping balls.
It was a bad one. It was a no good, very bad episode. And the only saving grace of it is that Yamaguchi's afro continued to pulsate and grow in size. So maybe that will eventually fully grow into what we see it in the intro of the show. Because in the opening, it shows Yamaguchi with a huge like tree hive of afros and birds and shit fly out of it. So I'm hoping we get to that point with him. So, Josh, thoughts? Oh wait, you didn't.
Well, I was in and out of consciousness, and I remember watching Fooly Cooly, and that one was very weird and trippy. At least it was visually very interesting and really cool at times. This is just, I mostly confused 90% of the time, and once in a while I'm like, I think I kind of see what they were doing there. 10% of the time.
Mitch, was Putan your favorite episode?
It wasn't my least favorite.
Would you say the humming one was worse?
Yes.
Wow, that's bold. All right.
Wow.
You said which one did you hate more? The Puta one or?
Oh yeah, I already answered this. So the Putan.
This
Putan
one
was shit.
this one wasn't my worst because, like, so I was watching this and I was on my phone watching, and I looked away and I looked back and then the baby was happening. I thought like Crunchyroll switched to anime, so I was like, what the fuck? That's the only reason it's the only reason it is higher than number 3, because it actually made me think. Whereas number 3, I was just like, I want my life to end.
Yeah, I was working out while I was watching this episode, and it felt like an eternity.
Yeah.
Like it was so.
It was
bad.
a brutal one. It was a brutal one. All the back and forth, the monologue. I didn't even mention the scene where Kayama meets up with one of his old, like, poorly drawn friends, and then
That was in this episode?
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you catch that the design? Wait, did he? Okay, so like a flashback to the first episode where he's like kind of shitting on the viewers for wanting a certain kind of. This is where he breaks like the fourth wall too, where he like shits on the viewers for what they would want from an anime if they want like a little anime girl, stereotypical high pitched voice, or whatever else, and then they show like that one blob. And I think
that's what I meant when I mentioned he broke the fourth wall in the second episode, because he like morphs into like an anime like Sailor Moon type of girl, and then turns into like a blob type person, or just one of his lookalike friends. But regardless, this episode 7 was definitely a stinker for me. I was glad that one ended.
That exchange just felt so awkward. I think like that was the point.
Yeah.
But it was like they legit just had a conversation and was like, "Hey, how's it going?" "Yeah, it's going fine. I'm doing homework."
Wow.
Our friend's really smart. Okay. Yeah.
Say
Tell
hi to him.
I said hi.
Yeah, say hi to him.
Goodbye.
Bye. He just makes me want to study harder and be my best person. Why
I'm
don't
gonna watch
you?
Bhutan.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. But then we go to the final episode of this podcast, which is episode 8, where a doctor shows up at Cromartie and examines all the students there. So we start off with Mekazawa getting examination. Obviously, the doctor doesn't see Mekazawa as a student, as everybody else, and is trying to figure out how to actually examine him and try not to lose his cool. He's trying to be professional. But after, recommending Mekazawa to a different doctor, which shows up later in the episode, he then examines Freddy, starting to lose his cool a little bit because Freddy is obviously way older than the normal students. And then he's like, no, it can't get any worse, What else are they going to throw at me, What are they going to throw? They might as well throw a gorilla at me. I can handle a gorilla. Sure enough, it's the gorilla. Yeah, a gorilla. A grill, They're going to fry some meat. So, yeah, he examines the gorilla. He just walks the roof and just completely gives up. Focus camera. Bad.
Okay. I got really worried when he was walking to the roof. I thought they were gonna do it. I was like, really, they're gonna
hop
go this far?
Yeah, he's gonna hop on. I thought he was
Yeah,
gonna do it
I get
too.
that
I'll be
thought
honest.
too.
Yeah, I thought he was just gonna hop off the roof, but no, he just takes his stethoscope and just yeets it on the ground. So then, the doctor recommends Mekazawa or refers him to another doctor, but in reality, he just recommends him go to an electronics store where Mekazawa gets a thorough examination from, the realtor there. I don't know, the employee. And
The electric doctor.
yeah, he's selling real estate. So Mekazawa gets a tune-up after, being hyped up or motivated by Kayama. And then he just kind of goes back in the default mode, robot, like,
It's his
just
memories
walking around.
wiped.
Yeah, he's not the same Mekazawa as we knew from episode 2. It's sad. And I don't know what we're going to do after this. So then, after all that said, they decide to throw a birthday party for, Freddy in Mada's place, if that's his name, right?
Mm.
And the only reason they're throwing a party on that day is because it's Mada's birthday. It's not actually Freddy's. They don't even know Freddy's birthday. They're just like, F it. Today's Freddy's birthday, man. It's going to forever be his birthday. It's like, what about mine? It's like, no, who gives a shit? You guys are in my house. Doesn't
Get
matter.
out of my house.
Yeah, quit being rude. Now everything's about you, Mada. And they even take it a step further and celebrate someone else's birthday, Takanuchi's. But what they do is, instead of having it at Mada's place, they, go to a house that's on a boat. Or a houseboat, of course, because they need to hype up not only Takanuchi, because he is respected by the third years and he is one of the top dogs of the first years. They have to hype up his motion sickness again, where they keep throwing food in his face. So, yeah. After Takanuchi passes out in his own birthday party, how could he? We are introduced to Made's mom, which closes the episode because it scares absolutely everybody, and no one saw it coming. Everyone just is stone-faced when they see the mother, and Made's like, yep, that's my mom.
I don't remember what she looks like.
It's pretty much a tough guy with, like, curly hair
She look,
or
she
poofy
look
hair.
like Freddy.
Wouldn't that be some shit? What if it was Freddy secretly?
Right.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But that was
Freddy
the
is
end.
all the parents.
Yeah, but that was pretty much the end. I mean, they bantered back and forth in Mada's place over a debate, like who's the strongest or something again, and Mada's just being more and more annoyed because they're using up his house. So, it pretty much seals off episode 8. Episode 8 kind of jumped around. I mean, I thought it'd be more funny if they just focused on Mada's place, or they just focused on, Makazawa's just examination or something, or see how far they go with like his factory reset pretty much. But they factory resetted him, and then they were at Mada's place. So
Yeah, that was weird.
it was okay. I mean, it definitely felt better to me because this was right after episode 7, so I was taking anything aside from Yamaguchi, so I was glad with this episode. You guys' thoughts?
It was I mean, I don't even remember the mom, so that tells you how much it had impact on me.
And Josh, what did you hear when you were sleeping?
Just the doctors at the beginning. That's all I remember.
Yeah, so, and, well, what do we call you now? You're not PowerPoint anymore.
Call me white background.
All right. Person.
Yep. I liked the Mekazawa part of the episode. I don't know. Did they like split it into like sub chapters or something? Is that what this was, or is this supposed to be
it's
like
just
one
pretty much-
continuous thing?
I don't know. It just seems like two separate bits going on. You start with
Was Mekazawa at the birthday party?
I don't think so. I don't know if he's back to normal yet. I don't know if they'll keep the factory reset bit going, but we'll just have to see in the next episode.
This episode.
Yeah, but I liked watching the first part. I thought it was pretty entertaining. I liked seeing a doctor show up in there and just kind of get their take on the whole robot gorilla Freddy situation. And
We could
it was
definitely
pretty fun.
relate a lot with the doctor because he's seeing all this crazy shit, you know? It's like there's a
Mhm.
gorilla here, Freddie Mercury's here. What the fuck? And now they
Yeah,
have a
I
robot. You know? It's like what's going on here?
Yeah, I was thinking about it too. I'm like, they captured the doctor's attitude really well. How he has to be professional even though he doesn't know what the hell is going on, and he knows his patient or Mekazawa is going to be like a difficult patient, or he doesn't know like what the hell's going on with this guy, but he's still going to try his best to take care of him, and he couldn't tell his front from his back, so he just rolled with it.
Yeah. He's just send it.
Yeah.
Send this guy to an electronics store. Get it over with.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's
I
all the
don't
episodes.
know why you guys assume that I'm good with machines.
Yeah, why? Yeah. Why would you guys send me to an electronics store? What's going on here?
This guy even a real doctor.
He knows a guy. Don't worry, he knows a guy. Trust me. So that pretty much covers all the episodes we wanted to talk about on this episode of podcast. So, does anyone have any closing thoughts on the first 8 episodes of Cromartie High School? Josh, will you not fall asleep for the next, what are we covering, the next 9, you think?
9, next 9, yep.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, I'll try, my guy.
Yeah, the way how many episodes
I feel
are in
better
this?
now knowing it wasn't easy for everybody else.
Wow,
But,
dude,
yeah.
it was
We're going to do 2 segments of 9.
yeah,
Just wrap it up.
well, just to, because how many episodes are in this one? Like 24 or 23 or something?
26.
26. Okay, so math works out with that. So next time we talk about Cromartie, obviously we'll cover whatever in the next outro. So book it.
I feel like if we are watching this anime, we might as well watch Haven't You Heard? Because it's very similar, very random. It's half as many episodes, but I mean longer.
Oh, is that what that one dude with the glasses? Was
Dude with the glasses,
Was
and
his
he's
name
like-
like start with a T or something?
Sakamoto.
Sakamoto. Okay. Yeah, I watched like the
That was-
first episode and I was very confused.
Yeah. But
Josh
very
is
similar to-
desperately wanting to put it on his watch list now. You can see
No, I'm
the
just trying to look
inspiration
to
in his
see
eyes.
what it is that you're talking about.
It's just a dude that
Haven't
does
you-
like random
Haven't
shit.
you heard?
Well, if you get picked, then you can pick it.
No.
You can
Stop
make
saying
Mitch-
that. 'Cause
you
there's so
can-
many I
I'm
want
not
to
good
pick.
at this.
Because you're gonna make Mitch suffer through another anime like this. I'm enjoying this. My favorite part of this entire
Oh.
podcast is just looking at Mitch's face.
I
Is this like-
hate I hate random slapstick comedy. It's so like unfunny to me.
But
Well, I mean-
the Haven't You Heard is like similar themed, but I actually think it's a lot funnier.
Well, it's just
Is this supposed to be like the origin of people doing the fucking glasses thing?
that's always
I
been
keep
a
seeing
thing, I
him
think.
doing
I
that.
think it's just like the stereotypical cool anime guy who goes like,
Well, I guess Mitch, was there any episode of this that you
2.
enjoyed?
I like 2. I like the like are they gonna tell him he's a robot bit? That was funny.
And then they dropped the gamer word because that
Yeah.
one probably hit you right, slapped you right in the face.
Mm-hmm.
I
Other than
if
Other
you
than
didn't,
that-
I think you warned me beforehand,
Yeah.
so that's why I wasn't as shocked. But I was like, oh my god.
I
It was
don't
lying.
think
Warned me.
besides that episode, and then obviously the first, because I was actually paying attention to the first.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was paying attention to episode 1 and 2, and then 3 happened, and I didn't care about this anime anymore.
Well,
That's
don't
how
worry,
that's how
man.
much I disliked 3.
You got 18 episodes to go, bitch.
3 was so bad.
But I think that is going to do it for us for this week. So whoever hung out, thanks for hanging out. And I think it's time to roll the outro. So yeah.
On the next episode of this episode, Trav, Mitch, Josh, and Yusuf discuss episodes 83 and 84 of the final season of Attack on Titan. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to never miss any new episodes. Also, watch live at twitch.tv/Dutchry every Monday night. Praise Eren Yeager.